how to move through uncertainty and through making mistakes with ease, how to be gentle towards yourself, and how to embrace mistakes and not fear the creative process and what might come of it. Painting is full of challenges. Also, video editing, cooking, cleaning, sometimes even living in this world without doing anything. Sometimes the challenges are not on the outside, but they're actually in our head, like overflowing thoughts, old patterns that don't serve us anymore, regrets, doubt, fear. Because there are challenges in every aspect of our lives, if we can rewrite how we deal with them, we can really change our functioning in this world for the better. If I can have a better attitude towards challenges in my painting process, maybe then I can move through challenges and through my mistakes in life with ease and with being gentle towards myself. The fact is that mistakes happen. This painting was challenging for me, for many reasons. First reason is that it is big, and for a big painting, there is a totally different process for me than for a small painting. The second reason is that I didn't have a skill of painting fog with a roller, and it was kind of scary to go with a roller with white paint over what I have painted for a long time. The third reason is feeling of uncertainty and fear of messing up, because more energy that I put into a painting, more energy I will quote-unquote lose if I make a mistake and mess up the painting. Or am I? Let's chat about this. This time I painted a big landscapey scenery with foggy forest, which is just my favorite kind of scene, and a cottage. I had an idea of how this cottage is gonna look like, and I went right in. My initial perspective of the drawing I have drawn on the canvas didn't look so good when I started painting it, so I eventually saw that this was a mistake. It just didn't look right, the perspective was all off, and I just didn't feel the color. The red color on the roof. It just seemed a little weird. I was also listening to a podcast and wasn't really paying attention as much as I should, so this just became a mess. I took a deep breath and I wiped the cottage. It can feel like the mistake is permanent. A thought that I cannot do a visually correct, beautiful cottage in these foggy woods has crossed my mind. I won't lie, because why should I? This is a video about how to make mistakes and pass through them. Believe it or not, it doesn't feel good when I make a mistake and have to wipe my cottage. But deep down, I knew it's going to be alright. I don't let myself fall into despair anymore. How? Why? Well, because it always was alright in the past. Nothing horrible has actually ever happened to me from painting a painting. The only horrible thing that happened to me were my thoughts. Think about it. Painting is not dangerous. Nothing actually bad can happen. When I was staring at this failed attempt, I got a vision of the blue stone cottage deep in the mountain woods. I didn't get this vision beforehand. I got it when I was staring at this failed attempt. And this happens sometimes. These are the serendipities that happen, that maybe would never happen otherwise if I didn't make the initial mistake and the perspective on the first try would be looking good. This time I grabbed a pencil and started sketching with more intention and focus, and I was really out to get it. I was feeling better about the cottage, the colors and the shape, but I couldn't lie to myself. At some point, it started to look angry. You know when the cars look a certain way by how their lights are shaped? Well, I see houses like that as well. And this cottage looked angry, and anger wasn't really the vibe I wanted to go for here. I actually wanted to go a different route, and that is calm and peaceful. I wiped these windows that were these pointy shapes off. And of course, for non-angry shape, I chose the circle. The negative emotion I was feeling was uncertainty, doubt, and a bit of despair, but it didn't bother me because I know how to override it, because I know how to replace that with a state of calm and forgiving myself for a mistake, because only in the state of peace we can find authentic expression. I usually know what the piece's deeper meaning is before I start painting. Paintings I make are expressions of my inner self. They are expressing something that I feel deeply. If they don't, I lose interest midway. I actually cannot only paint for aesthetics of the piece or for just looking good. There is nothing wrong with it. And I also think that every art has meaning, even if artists don't know it or don't think about it. But yeah, this one, I didn't know the deeper meaning of it. But because I didn't lose interest midway and I wanted to continue working on it, I knew that there is something magical behind this idea. This painting is called Smooth Blue. It is a calm and gentle painting, reminding to surrender. Deep blue fog is rolling down the hills, slowly moving and hugging the spruce trees on its way. There is a deep silence that is present inside the scene, and the warmest blue cottage in all the land is hiding in the heart of the forest, peeking out of the evergreen giants, offering a little stillness in one's heart. This was the name I chose and a little fairy tale I wrote for this piece, Smooth Blue. After I painted the cottage roughly, it was time to move on to the giant trees. There was another obstacle that came in my mind, and that is sometimes when I paint a part of the painting and I really like it, I really get attached to that part, then I'm scared to paint another part so I don't ruin the first part, if that makes sense. And I felt this here when I was moving on from the cottage to the forest, and there was a little fear in me that I would ruin this cottage by smudging the trees over it, for example, or not doing transitions right, or that the trees just wouldn't look as realistic as I want them to. Yeah, I sometimes fear that the next step will ruin what I already like now. But in these cases, I try to tell myself that I can also make it so much better. With my new layers and additions and new parts of the painting painted, I can enhance what is already painted. So I actually recognize my anxious thought and consciously think of a switch scenario. So how I do this is I actually recognize my anxious negative thought and I consciously think of a switch scenario, so the contrast of this negative thought. For example, if my thought is, I will ruin this pretty blue cottage, I replace it with a thought, I will enhance this pretty blue cottage. I will make it even prettier and stand out more with the part I'm going to paint next. And this instantly shifts my perspective. It makes me calm and a little excited about the next step instead of being fearful. I used to be scared of starting bigger projects and painting bigger paintings, because if it doesn't work out, I have invested so much more energy and resources in it, and because of that, more energy will be wasted. Investing can be scary. It can be scary because you probably think that you can lose something by doing something. But that is actually just an illusion. I cannot lose anything by painting this painting. I personally believe that there is no dying energy or energy disappearing. Everything is always transforming and energy just goes in circles. It comes and goes and comes and goes. We can also observe that in nature, in the seasons. That is a perspective that helps when I feel like I can lose or waste something. It may be time or money or energy, anything. I think we humans are a lot of the times under pressure that something will be taken from us. But my work and art supplies can transform in a beautiful painting that everybody likes and adores. Or it can transform to a failed canvas, a little emptier tubes of paint, and an experience that is forever stored in my brain. Even when I don't remember it anymore, or it is a past failed attempt that is insignificant to me, it is forever in me, and it is a building block of my skill and a part of my past and a part of me. Our brain is a complex system functioning on the base of our experiences. A lot of experiences, all of them, not just ones that we think are successful attempts and valuable. This perspective helps me to remember that it is not important what happens in the end. Everything is just energy transforming in different ways. You can start a painting and you can end up with a beautiful piece that you like very much, or you can end up with experience in your head that is equally valuable than a perfect piece of art. In other words, everything just is the way it is, and nothing is gained and nothing is wasted. Energy just goes in circles. This perspective helps me get pressure off, and it helps me to relax in the state of painting. It also helps me to replace uncertainty with surrender, and this is the place where authentic creativity comes from. When I make a mistake, or am afraid that I will make a mistake, I also like to remember that mistakes are natural. We should do mistakes because without them we cannot learn and experience full spectrum of being a human. And also being an artist. It sounds cheesy, but it is cheesy because it has been said so many times, and it has been said so many times because it is very, very true. I hope you remember those words the next time you feel defeated by a mistake or paralyzed of fear of creating. Try to remember and understand that whatever happens when you're working on your creative project, you cannot lose anything. Nothing is at stake. You put energy into it and it transforms into another form of energy. The smooth blue teaches me to roll like a deep fog from a hill, lose my mind in the process and gain my connection with my authentic creativity. I have pushed through making mistakes and being insecure with my art for so many times that I already know how to return to a place of surrender when the bad feeling happens. I returned so many times, and each time it became easier and easier. It's just like a muscle building. More times you manage to return from fear, despair, and catch your creative flow, the easier will become to do that. If you would like some peaceful art for your walls or a magical sticker to stick on your laptop or journal, you can check out my Etsy shop or my new website. On my new website there are 2 new prints that I have made in 2024, and they are the Optimist and the Sweet Warmth. I also invite you to join my Patreon and get more exclusive content of my art making and my chatty thoughts. I have a new Patreon and I am gonna start making content there soon when some of you join, and yeah, it's really cool and I'm excited. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like this video. I believe you're brave enough to start creating and strong enough to learn how to move past your mistakes like a fog rolling down the hill on the smooth blue painting. Do you like smooth blue, by the way? Can you feel the peace expressed in this painting? Because that was my intention for this painting, to just radiate peaceful vibes. Would you stop by this blue cottage for a hot bowl of soup before continuing on your journey? Let me know in the comments, let's chat. I love reading your comments. I wish you a smooth and easeful day. I will see you again soon in my next video. Bye.